Well, the Conservatives say their new extended right-to-buy scheme will allow 1.3 million people to buy the housing authority homes that they live in. If you qualify, which means having lived in your home for 5 years, you could get a discount of up to £102,700 if you live in London. If you live in the rest of England, it's £77,000, or at least up to £77,000. Now, here's how it's going to work. Local authorities will be required to sell off their most expensive council homes at a discount as they become vacant before 2016. The Conservatives estimate that's going to be about 15,000 of them a year. But it seems they would also have to be legally forced to do that, since they'd be selling them at below market price. Those sales are forecast to raise £4.5 billion, which will be funnelled into 3 places. Firstly, over here, it will back the housing authorities who have lost money, obviously selling off those homes at under market price. Secondly, it'll go towards building a new affordable home in place of every expensive home that has been sold. And thirdly, £1 billion will go towards building 400,000 new homes on brownfield sites. But there are questions about the viability of the policy. Figures show that since 2012, fewer than half of the homes sold under right to buy have been replaced by a new house because of the extra cost. And that wasn't the only new cost the Conservatives have promised to fund. They've also announced a pledge to pull people on the minimum wage out of tax entirely, but crucially only for people who are working 30 hours a week, up to 30 hours a week. That means their tax-free allowance promise remains at £12,500. But of course, many people on the minimum wage will be working more hours than the 30. The average is actually around 43 a week, so they'll be earning actually around £14,500 more than that. Another promise is free childcare for working parents of 3- and 4-year-olds. Labour, they've promised to increase it to 25 hours a week. Now the Tories have gone 5 further, promising 30. Now, that will cost them £350 million. They say that's going to be paid for by extra tax contributions from wealthier pensioners.